Marty Schwartz here. Oh, I need to relax. I need to rest after that. Too much rock. Anyway, I want to talk to you real quick. Obviously, you know, this new venture. I'm so enjoying bringing new people and friends into the mix, and so I wanted to introduce you to a mustache that I know. We go pretty far back. And you know, he's always been there for me. He's been a good supporter. But we have to talk about the man that's attached to the mustache.
Unfortunately.
Anyway, this is my... I had to, sorry.
Alright.
So this is my buddy, Brett Papa, right here. Say hello.
Hi.
Okay, cool. Good job. Good job. Let me, right off the bat, let me tell you how I know this guy. Brett Papa here. Met him in 7th grade, which is sweet. That's cool. Like, I didn't meet you, like, you know,
Mr.
in the
Leach's
music
class.
scene. You know what I mean? Yo, wait, say it again?
Mr. Leach's class.
Mr. Leach's class.
History.
That was the history.
Yeah.
I didn't like him.
No, not so much.
Okay, so Brett Papa met this dude in 7th grade, and I don't know if this is how I met you, but this is how I would tell the story because it just sounds cool. Who's that dude over there drawing, like... Brett was famous. First of all, Brett's a really great artist. I don't know if you still do art, but back when we were like kids, you know, he was like the awesome artist guy. And so like I'd like look over, you know, he'd be supposed to be doing homework or a test or something, and Brett would be drawing like this shred like metal guy like with long hair and like the guitar
fire.
Yeah, like guitar between his legs, like just like you know, these awesome drawings. I was like, dude, that's so awesome. And so I always remembered that. And then also it was like, oh, Brett Papa, like, he is so amazing at guitar. And, like, I mean, he's, like, if anyone out there knows, like, you know, like when you were a kid, there was, like, the guy that was just, you know, awesome at guitar. And there's the guy that was, you know, awesome at football. And there's the guy that was, you know, awesome at underwater basket weaving.
This is where I met you.
Yeah, exactly. That was my skill. I didn't play guitar yet. But anyway, Brett Papa here, he was already shredding at guitar. When did you start playing guitar?
I was 12.
You're about 12?
Yeah.
So, yeah, so, God, you'd only been playing like a year or so when I met you. Wow, that's impressive. So, anyway, I got my first guitar that same year that I met Brett, but I had a bad teacher, and I gave it up. I didn't start playing guitar again until, like, 5 years later.
Yeah, but you ruled with the harmonica.
I did. I played harmonica, yeah. You know, we're 34 years old, so back when you were 13 years old, 12, 13 years old, what was your favorite guitar player?
Van Halen.
Yeah, Eddie Van Halen, right? So Brett was kind of like the, you know, the Eddie Van Halen kind of dude. You know, you can do a lot of that stuff. But one more thing, because I don't want to talk, I've already talked too much, but the one thing that I'll say about Brett here is that it was really cool because I remember even back then, like I had gotten a guitar, and maybe I was talking about that I had a guitar, and I knew Brett was the guy to know that was like the guitar player. So I remember way back, I think Brett, like I had one of my like instructional books because, you know, the internet didn't exist.
Yeah.
And you were like, oh, level 1, yeah. I remember that. And you were like, but no, you offered to like help me out, teach me some stuff. And, you know, I thought that was really cool because we didn't know each other that well yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the thing is, Brett and I never played guitar together until a few years ago. Basically, it was funny. We didn't, after high school, we maybe ran into each other only a couple of times. So there was like a good 5 or 6 years where we never saw each other. And that whole time I was like playing guitar every day, like all day. And so I kind of came back into town, and I'd been back in California for a while, and I was doing a gig. I have a band, and we were jamming out at this place, and Brett walked in randomly, like, because he lived in the area. He walked in and was like, oh, shoot, Marty, what's up? You know, I was like, hey, Brett, what's going on? So I was like, immediately in my mind, I was like, oh, you know, I have an extra guitar in my car. You got to come up. So Brett came up, jammed with the band on a bunch of tunes, just blew people's minds. It was so awesome.
It was really embarrassing because you're much better than me now.
What? No, I really don't think so.
He surpassed me in half the time, and he's twice as good.
Yeah, well, no, I really don't think so, but thanks nonetheless. Okay, so anyway, we became friends after that again because it was like, oh man, we have this guitar connection, and I play right by where he lives, and so you know, we ended up kind of striking up a new guitar kinship, and I'm happy to say that band played at your wedding.
It did.
And once again, awesome. I was like, we got to get the groom to come up and jam with the band at his own wedding. I mean, that was pretty cool.
That was awesome. People still talk about it. Like, who's that band? All the time.
So anyway, that was really cool. Now let's get to the important stuff, the mustache.
Yes.
How long have you had that thing?
It started out as a beard, and then my wife's like, I had a dream that you had a handlebar stash. And I was kind of over the beard at this point. It was getting a little hot. So I shaved it off, and then after that, things have just been happening ever since I've had the stash.
Well, at first when I hadn't seen you with the stash, and then I ran into you, and I swear to God, I was like, oh my God, that's Derek Smalls, the bass player from Spinal Tap. And he looks so young. Wait a minute, that's Brett.
Exactly.
I know that, dude.
Exactly.
Okay, so apparently you have, tell me, we got a couple of just fun stories. Tell me you have a couple of mustache stories. Tell me one of those stories.
The best mustache story was I was with my wife and my brother walking my dog in Laguna Beach, and it was like just gotten dark, and we're going down this hill, and all of a sudden this carload of teenagers comes up, and they just stop right next to us, and the guy rolls. It's like right out of the movie. He rolls down the window. He's like, dude. Sweet mustache, you want a beer? And like hands out a beer. And yes, exactly. So that was one of the nice things about the stash is you get free beer now.
Well, you earned it.
Yeah.
You earned it.
You know.
All right, so one other one. What do you got?
Today on the way down.
Sweet.
There was a guy at the toll booth, like a 75-year-old guy, took my toll. Right as I'm about to roll up, I'm like, dude, sweet mustache. All right.
And that was the other thing I thought of too. It was like, why I was, ever since you've had it, I have to comment on it. Like every other sentence, I have to say something about it.
Yeah.
And I thought my intro was pretty good.
No, it is fantastic.
I thought it was it just came to me, you know. But I was joking that you're gonna have to sign, you know, a separate release form for your mustache.
That's all right.
And then also, you know, like I don't know, like when you do gigs and you get paid for your job, I don't know how you and your mustache split up the money.
Well, I actually kind of prefer the mustache because it makes me look tough because I have a pink guitar and it saves me from getting beers thrown at me. The guy's like, well, at least he's got a stash.
That is a good plan.
Yeah.
We're going to have you show some of the cool stuff you do. You know,
All
the
right.
stuff that you're comfortable with, that you like. So right off the bat, I know you grew up with, you know, the Van Halen, you know, obviously some like metal, Randy Rhoads.
Right. George Lynch, Paul Gilbert, all the shred guys.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've got that shred thing, but I also want to say for sure that you're really versatile, man. I mean, you're totally into like Brad Paisley.
Yeah, it's a new favorite. Country, I got turned on to him like maybe 3 years ago, and it just totally changed my whole View on Guitar.